welcome. I'm gonna get my timing right on that transition eventually. I don't know why it keeps looping. I tried to change it, but yeah, welcome to the first comic book talk show. Hopefully you don't hear the squeaking of my chair. Also, I hope you enjoy the background. It's all of my wife's posters of like boy bands, and I think there's Dylan O'Brien on there. But at least there's a Final Fantasy poster that you can see in the background. Um, if you want to know what this is going to be about, sorry if I stutter a lot, but yeah, we're just going to have a talk show, talk about comics, talk about all the latest comics that are coming out, talk about what I think of the latest comics that are coming out, things I've been reading this week, also other maybe local comic news, as well as I should probably be looking at the camera and not at the screen because it messes me up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We also going to talk about a lot of like local events and stuff. Like Rage is coming up. I won't be going to Rage, but obviously, you know, it's still something we could talk about. I think it's in December, if I'm not wrong. I know they have moved now to Four Ways Mall in the parking lot. So maybe I'll go. We'll see. I did go to Comic Con Africa this year. And yeah, it's surprisingly hard to get comics at Comic Con Africa. Like, there was a couple of stores, and I was able to get what I was looking for eventually. But I ran around looking for, I think I bought, there's a TikTok of everything I bought, but it was Absolute Batman, and Action Comics, like reprints. Um, excuse me. Yeah, all those. You can follow my TikTok and see my TikTok. I think though my Twitch account is currently linked to uh my main TikTok page. Okay, I'm just going to mash everything together. If I can get the original clip for YouTube. If I can't, we'll make it work. But yeah, we're back. Carl, you can be my live tester right now. Is the stream fine? Is straight frames dropping? Is things lagging? Also, why are you awake at 6 a.m.? Hey, what's up, Troubles? Is the stream fine, guys? Because my internet's been really weird since I've moved my PC back here. I'm gonna be frozen until I get an answer from one of them. I need to figure out how this can be edited out. I need to. Okay, it's working. Okay, now I was worried. I was having issues with my internet. I literally had to do a hard reset on my computer because I had a virus because things weren't downloading properly, and like the stream, because I tried to stream Batman on Sunday and it just kept lagging and I just kept having frame drops. But now it seems like it's fine. I'll do some magic for the YouTube edit, of course, of this. But yeah, back to what the show is about. We're gonna just be talking about comics, hence the name Comic Book Late Night Comic Book Talk Show, whatever. So if you guys are interested in comics, what's happening in comics, or you want to get into comics, I think this is a great way to at least listen about it, listen to what's going on. I've been collecting a lot recently. It's actually very what's the word, addictive. Like there's a lot of things coming out recently that I would like to buy, a lot of things that I still need to buy. I've been collecting a lot of single issues of like issue ones and then eventually going to look for the rest of the series. So yeah, I think let's get into our first segment. Eventually, we'll have transitions of whoosh, whoosh, and then when we do those transitions, the stream will look cooler. But this is episode 1, so we let's not like get ahead of ourselves. So yeah, the first segment, we're gonna talk about everything that has come out that's going out tomorrow, and I'll also retrack on things that came out last week. So the main big things that came out last week specifically was actually I could retrack, I guess, everything that came out this month until this point, and then after that we'll talk about things because comics usually release on Wednesday, and every issue for that current series will release once a month. So this month we got Matt Fraction's Batman, issue 2. I'm loving Matt Fraction's Batman. I think it's great. There's only 2 issues out now, so it's also a great time to start. It's really, really good art. I think the art is George Jimenez, if I'm not wrong. And then Matt Fraction is the writer. Really, really cool take on Batman. I think it is the new main universe Batman stuff, if I'm not wrong. So he is older. There's he's got Damian Wayne there. Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Tim Drake is also Robin. I think they're going to play into Tim Drake becoming Red Robin in this, because these universes in comics always get resetted and whatever. Comics are confusing. But yeah, we got that. Then we got Absolute Evil that came out last Wednesday. So if you've been familiar with what's been going on in comics right now, you should know about the new Absolute Universe, which is an alternate universe within DC, where Darkseid corrupts this universe, something like that. And so all our heroes that we used to, they all have now their own there's different takes on these characters, right? So we have Batman, Absolute Batman, that's the one that most people are talking about. We have Absolute Superman, Absolute Martian Manhunter. That one's also really good, very cool. That waiting for Volume 1 to drop so I can do a full review of Volume 1. I have read all the issues already. Absolute Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash as well. I still need to read Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern though. But we got Absolute Power last week. And our Absolute Power is about the villains and shows all the villains in the Absolute Universe, and most of them are like greedy corporation people, and they now discover a plan to come and like stop all these heroes and stuff. Because so basically this was the first issue where all of these heroes are mentioned, because obviously they all just have their solo series right now. They don't know each other, but now we're getting to that whole thing of the Absolute Universe is coming together. Eventually gonna have this big battle, I'm sure, comic book stuff. Then we also got Satanic Panic, the Satana one shot for Halloween. I think it's a one shot. I don't think we're going to get more of it. And it's just stories by different writers. I haven't read it yet. I was trying to get a copy. Unfortunately, it's sold out everywhere. So I'll probably only get a copy when the second print comes in, unfortunately. But I will probably have to read it. We're going to probably do a Halloween special episode soon. So we'll do one for the talk show, but we'll also have a YouTube video coming out, and it's TikTok as well. Just recommend this. Then tomorrow we have DCKO coming out. We have Absolute Batman 13 coming out. That's mainly DC stuff. I am not remembering all the Marvel stuff. However, I do have that here because I didn't just want to do DC stuff. Let me just get to my teleprompter on my phone. Where is it? Comic book releases this week. Cool. So here's everything that's coming out. So you got Absolute Batman 13. That's dropping tomorrow. Transformers 25. I do still want to read the Transformers comics. I've heard they're pretty good. DCKO I did mention. So DCKO is I think it's like a tournament with all the DC characters, heroes and villains, and they all fighting to get the power or whatever. The Omega power, if I'm not wrong. I will get that. It is written by Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder's my fucking goat. Action Comics 1091, so Superman. Ultimate Black Panther 21, Batman and Robin 26, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween number 9, Avengers 31, Batman Dark Patterns 11, Superman The Kryptonite Spectrum 3, Spider-Man and Wolverine 6, Supergirl 6, Amazing X-Men 1. So if you want to read X-Men, new X-Men series is out. Amazing Spider-Man Torn 1, Green Lantern Corps 9, Spider-Man 94 2, Aquaman 10, Eddie Brock Carnage 9, The Punisher Marvel Knights Punisher 1, Imperial War, Imperial Gardens. I've been liking the Imperial stuff. Also something I wish I could find issues of, or at least trade paperbacks, because it's really good. It's written by Hickman, I think. I also really like Hickman. His Marvel stuff is always good. And it's basically space Marvel, like space Game of Thrones Marvel. Pretty good. But they've been doing these little micro series with the different factions. So we get an Imperial Guardians 1, it's Imperial War Saga, Final Fantasy 12, Laura Kenny, Sabretooth 1, Marvel Knights, The World to Come 3, World of Revelation 1, Long Shots 1, Conan the Barbarian 25. So both Batman Gotham by Gaslight and Justice League, A League for Justice 4, Binary, Sacrifices, G.I. Joe 321, Everything Dead and Dying 2, Return to Planet Hulk 1, Godzilla 3, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell 10, Blood and Thunder 6, Marvel Black, White and Blood and Guts number 1, Event Horizon Dark Descent 2, Harley Quinn X Elvira number 1, Strange Tales 1, Star Wars Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon 2. Okay, there's a lot. I think there's another Some Things is Killing the Children coming out. Yeah, I think you guys get the point. I think I got through all the good stuff. But there's a new TMT issue coming out. Haven't read that TMT series yet though, so okay, get to it when I get to it. Let me move my teleprompter out of shots. But yeah, so lots and lots of good stuff. I do believe comics are making a really big comeback this year. There's so much good stuff to read, obviously. But guess you just read characters. That's how I always recommend to people how to get into comics. Just read characters you like. If you watched Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, read Miles Morales comics, I guess. Unless, I don't know, maybe your favorite character was Miguel O'Hara. Read his Spider-Man 2099 stuff. If you like the Batman Arkham games, read Batman comics. I mean, there's a Batman Arkham Asylum comic book. It's not based on the game, but it's really good, really weird as well. So yeah, just read characters you like. And now also the best thing I think everyone's been talking about these is the compact comics. So give me a minute and I'll show you what a compact comic is like. Buddha Beam. And we'll have official transitions. Sorry for using a thing that just says username. Anyways, these are compact comics, right? These are the best way, in my opinion, to start reading DC comics specifically. I'm hoping Marvel does something similar, but they're small, as you can see. So we got All-Star Superman here. Really good. If you enjoyed the Superman movie and you know a bit about Superman, it's a really good read. Batman Hush. I mean, it's a legendary story. I'm not the biggest fan of Hush, but it's a good read. And this I haven't read yet. This is actually my wife's. It's Gotham City Sirens with Harley Quinn and Catwoman and Poison Ivy. So these are awesome. These are great to start reading comics. They're still releasing more. Do not get the Arkham Asylum one. I've heard just like uh, reviews that because of the art and how the font is in Arkham Asylum, it's hard to what's the word? Read the comic properly because of how small they are. Like they're the size of a manga, right? So it's hard to read. I can't really explain Arkham Asylum, so I should just show you the Arkham Asylum comic books. Um, so yeah, let's get that out the way. Let me show you how that looks. You can see my big head. Cool. You guys can see my big head closer while I search. So I'm gonna put it on screen now. There you go. Trigger warning, I guess, if you're scared of spooky images, because Arkham Asylum is a spooky looking comic. Okay, why is this not loading? Give me a minute. There you go. This better load. There we go, cool. So this is just from Amazon. I'm going to put it on screen now. Yeah, there we go, done. Just need a, there we go. So this is from Amazon. Hopefully you can see. But because of how small the pages are, if you can see the text of how it looks like, I'm zoomed in. I don't even know if you can see it properly. Yeah, I'm covering this. Anyways, I'm gonna just make this smaller. So there you go. I'm making it even smaller to make it worse, but this is a realistic look on how it looks when you read a compact comic version of this. But like, if you see Joker's text, right? Like I'm zoomed in looking at this, and this is a HD photo. I have no idea what this dude's saying because the fonts is just weird. And that's obviously the art, right? Like that's like the, I know what he says there. That says April Fool. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, obviously that is what the style of the comic is supposed to be like. It's obviously by design, but this was made to be in big graphic novel editions. So now that they release a compact comics version, it's not easy to read something like that, if that makes sense. So do not buy the Arkham Asylum one. But if you do want to read comics, buy those. Like there's the Killing Joke. If you heard about things that Killing Joke's great, there's these two. Also, Superman's good. Superman Birthright. There's some Justice League stuff. It's all DC heroes. Like I think there's a Flashpoint, if I'm not wrong. I try when I go to my store that I go and buy comics from, which is Smallville Comics in Alberton. I try to buy one every time I'm there because they're like $3.50. So it's not too bad. Just so, and I try to get things that I haven't read or things that I would that I've read that when you read digitally that I'd like to collect just to always reread. So yeah, they're great editions. Yeah, let's go into other news in comics. Well, let's go into manga news specifically. So Oda is taking a break from writing One Piece because of health issues. So unfortunately, there's not going to be new chapters of One Piece for a while. I think it's 2-3 weeks. So hopefully he recovers soon. One Piece is nearing the end, so he can take a long deserved break once it's over. I don't think there's much else in terms of news. Off the top of my head, I don't think there's recent news. Everyone knows, I think, of the Superman 2 by James Gunn is coming out. We did get a name for that. I think it's Man of Tomorrow, and James Gunn sees that really acts and Lex Luthor and Superman will be based off the image. And then I don't think there's much else. I mean, everything else is it's all news that I'm just regurgitating now. So yeah, I guess we can do some weekly reviews and what I've been reading. So I haven't. No, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been reading much manga recently. Not even One Piece. I've been actually leaving One Piece on the back burner just so I can binge read it. Anyways, so uh, it is unfortunate that Oda's not well. Um, because you know it it's something to look forward to weekly for a lot of people. But I was, anyways, like 10 chapters behind, and I'll only catch up once it's like 20, 30 chapters ahead because I hate reading things weekly. At least with the comic stuff, it's monthly, but that makes that's worse for me. Like, I mean, like I read Matt Fraction 2, the Matt Fraction Batman 2, and it's killing me that I have to wait a month for the next issue. Like, generally. I've also been reading Silver Surfer Black, which I got all 5 issues recently from a friend. I think I read the first 3 issues, so I just have 2 more issues left. Iconic Silver Surfer story. I'm enjoying it so far, and yeah, it's pretty good. Probably going to do a review on that as well once I'm done with it. Um, I've also been reading some of the Justice League run by Snyder. Well, I finished Snyder's run on Justice League. It was Justice League. I want to say it's relatively it's a relatively old run, or like 2019. So it's pretty good. But like I still want to finish the rest of the arc now, even though that Snyder's not the writer anymore in that arc. Also been reading Batman White Knight. Now that I want to talk about Batman White Knight. So I started reading it because the same friend, he was basically traded a lot of his comics to me because he just doesn't have space for it anymore. I want to start selling comics at my shop, so I decided to start with secondhand comics. But I took a few things and told him like, this is what I'm going to take for myself and whatever. And one of those comics was Batman Return of the White Knight because he recommended it to me, and Batman is like my favorite superhero to read. And so he told me to start with Batman White Knight, and it's good. Unfortunately, I don't really like it. The whole premise is it's an alternate universe. Fucking majority of comics are like in a whole different universe or whatever. Again, they're very confusing. But unfortunately, like I don't like it. It's basically Batman. It starts with like Batman beating up the Joker and whatever, and then the Joker's like, "Yeah, Batman, I'm gonna get better. I'm so sick of fighting you. You keep beating me up, so I'm actually gonna go get better, right?" So he goes and gets therapy, and takes medication, and he's cured. He's no longer the Joker. No, now he's Jack Napier, right? Um, it's stupid because like calling him Batman White Knight also just makes me laugh because like that's what they call Joker, is the White Knight. Like I don't explain it without like actually getting how cringe it is across. I can't tell you the writing off the top of my head, but I do not like the characterization. So now Joker's obviously good. Well, not good. Well, he's good. Well, he's the protagonist. Maybe. Sorry, he's not joking. He decides he wants to bring the corruption down from Gotham to allow Batman to be, you know, running around beating up mentally ill people, right? uh, so he blames the Gotham City Department, and yeah, it's just weird. It just bothers me. Okay, you have heard it. It bothers me because like it's like it feels like the it was written by like the writer reading a Reddit post that like Batman's a bigger villain than Joker actually, because if Batman killed Joker, Batman killed the bad guys, right? Then sorry for my impersonation. But Batman killed the Joker, Batman killed the bad guys. Then there less crime, less people die, right? And that's basically the story, and it's not entertaining. And I'm just trying to get through it because I now have the sequel in like issues, and I would like to read it because now they're in my collection. I'm not gonna fucking go change them. Like I'm not gonna time listen. Yeah, fuck this story. Let me change it for those. I could, but like I'm too lazy to do that. To be honest, and it's such a drag. It's such a drag to read because like Batman stories are so fun to read, and I always think it just feels like it's a misinterpretation of what Batman's character is, right? Like, to me, Batman is a symbol of hope, right? Like, yes, um, he does, basically beat people to the point that, like, they're in hospital and they're like, it's not like he's just giving them a light knockout, he breaks bones and stuff, like, but his whole no kill rule is important to his character because he doesn't want to stoop to the level of his parents' killers, right? And if I compare that story of making Batman almost like a bad guy, this grumpy old man, compared to Matt Fraction's Batman, where um, Matt Fraction's Batman is a more mature Bruce, right? He's not like just talking about, oh, I have trauma from dead parents, because even I get bored of that shit, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I've read 100 Batman comics, and I really love hearing about his fucking parents being dead in every fucking story. Like, no, it gets boring. So the Mad Fraction's Batman being him older and being basically just a father right now, that's it. And he's cracking jokes. Like my favorite joke from issue 2 is he gets shot by this corrupt cop, and he's been teaching Tim. The whole premise of the issue 2 is he's teaching Tim Drake to drive, just because in case they need to get somewhere, leave somewhere bad fast, then Tim Drake drives the Batmobile, right? And eventually, like spoiler alert, but like Tim Drake does have to drive the Batmobile to get them out of the situation after Batman got shot. And Tim Drake's like, whoa, why is there so much gears in this thing? And then Batman's like, oh, it's 9 standard, and then 4 extra. There's 13 gears. And he's like, why do you need? Oh, sorry, I messed up the joke. He's like, oh, why is there so many gears? How many gears are in this thing? It's 13, 9 standard, 4 extra gears. He's like, oh, what's the 4 extra gears for? And then he's like, 1 is for this, 2 is to in case of like hyperspace travel or whatever type thing. I don't know. It was a big word I can't read. And then the last one was like, because I have the coolest car in the world. And that joke, it's what I like about this Batman. He's not afraid to be humorous and whatever. Now that he's kind of recovered from his trauma, he's still obviously fighting crime and still beating up people, but like now he's like just also trying to be a father. And I like that. I don't like Reddit Batman. Like Reddit Batman with the White Knight is not interesting. It's bad writing. So yeah, I think it's also coming off reading one of the greatest comic books I've ever read, with Animal Man, which also I've been reading too much DC. I won't lie. But it's from the 80s. It's written by Grant Morrison, and Animal Man is just much more. It's like meta commentary, whatever. Like there's fourth wall breaks, but not like Deadpool fourth wall breaks. It's like actual like philosophical like questions. So you go from this very intense story that starts out like a little superhero story, basic superhero story, to this like mind bending philosophical question story. And you read this, it's like, wow, this is amazing, this is mind blowing, and then you read Batman White Knight, and it's like, Batman the bad guy. it's not it's not interesting, but there's 2 sequels to this thing, so there's a bunch of spin-offs, so surely it gets better, right? Or surely like it's not as bad as it is to me now. Because I'm not gonna lie, I am struggling to read it. Like I'm reading it here and there, but like I can binge read things. I can't binge read this. It's like after every issue, I'm like, oh fuck, dude, this is bad. And then I switch to an issue of like Miles Morales or something, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy now. Miles is cool. So yeah, that's what I've been reading. Don't think there's anything else I've been reading. Well, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, the latest run. Can't remember the runner, writer. It's okay. It's I wish Miles got more justice in his comics. But there was the good Ultimate Spider-Man Bendis run. That's really good Miles writing. Amazing Spider-Man, which is Peter Parker. That's all right. Uh, I just have an inherent problem with Marvel Comics writing in general. There's obviously some gems, but a lot of it is like family friendly. I don't know what other word to say, but they're not bad. They're just not like peak writing. I feel, but I might just be biased. Um, what else? Yeah, I think that's the majority of the stuff I've been reading. I did finish Absolute Power. Looking forward to catching up with the rest of the Absolute stuff. Absolute Batman's been good. Absolute Martian Manhunter's probably my favorite out of them. Uh, I have read some Absolute Superman, but I don't know. I don't like angry Superman. I like Superman that's hopeful. Um, and then yeah, I'll get into the others because I like what they're setting up. So yeah, and then next year we have Avengers Doomsday. That is actually some news. I think it was Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con recently. I know it was an American Comic Con or an American Expo. They revealed a picture of Robert Downey Jr. Sorry, I was going to call him Tony Stark, but Robert Downey Jr. in the Doomsday costume. It was like a promotional art thing. Oh, it was a comic. It was a promotional comic they were giving away, and like the picture is just his face inside the costume. It looks great, by the way. And I did finish watching Fantastic Four recently. I don't go to cinemas to watch movies anymore. I just wait for them to come to streaming because it's too expensive to watch movies. And I somehow found out a way to avoid spoilers for comic book movies. So yeah, I watched Fantastic Four the other day, and I do think, and I guess this is spoilers. I think it's going to be peak. You're right, Charles. I think Avengers Doomsday might actually be peak because I think Doomsday and Secret Wars both, right? I think they're going to be great. Um, so this is my theory. So I guess it could be a spoiler if my theory becomes true. So this year, because so I've read the original Secret Wars years ago, which what they were setting up with Jonathan Majors, before he was a bad person. So, and then they obviously rushed to change it to uh, Doomsday now with because we're gonna get Kang Dynasty, and then they changed it to Doomsday, right? But the second Avengers movie that was supposed to release like the year after, like we did with Infinity War and Endgame, was always going to be Secret Wars. But I think they're setting up Secret Wars based off the 1980 comics, which I've read before. So this year, when they changed it now to Secret Wars, when they changed it to Doomsday, I decided to read Secret Wars 2014. I think it released. I think it was 2014. Can fact check me. Let me just say, Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. So that is more evolved about with Doom than Kang, because obviously they can't use Kang now because they were really stupid. And when they showed all the in Ant-Man, if you've seen Ant-Man, whatever the last one was, where he fights Kang, and then they show like all the Kangs, and it's all Jonathan Majors, and when they're supposed to be alternate universe things, they kind of ruined it for themselves. So they obviously had to like, you know, throw in this dead wood and try to change it. However, this is why I say it's going to be peak. Here's my theory. So it's about Doom. Basically, similar thing, battle world, universes colliding, blah, 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 blah. Because of this, Doom makes a universe where he kind of puts all the universes together to set, because they're all colliding with each other, saying like, I don't know, they're all going to die. Puts them all together in this universe. However, certain people were trying to escape. I don't know. It's so like comics are weird. I don't know how to explain. Basically, the people. Mr. Fantastic was one of the people that wasn't part of this universe. So Doom obviously takes advantage of this, and he makes a universe where he's the king. That's where you see God Emperor Doom. It's the same comic where you see him like, like rip Thanos' head out, with the spine, whatever. I'm sure you've seen the comic panel on like social media or whatever. That comes from the Secret Wars, right? That's God Emperor Doom. because he took the power of the Beyonders with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange don't want the power, so then him and Doom were like, okay, cool, let's do this and whatever. Um, but what ended up happening is he makes Sue Storm not his wife, makes the kids of Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm believe that he's the daddy, right? Uh, all those silly things basically, and he makes, obviously he calls himself God Emperor Doom in this universe, right? So now he's like the king of this universe and he's almighty powerful and all that. So I am going to spoil what happens in the comic because I think this is what they're going to do with Secret Wars. So I think Doomsday is going to set up this thing of it becoming this battle world of Dooms and, him becoming God Emperors for Secret Wars. Because at the end of Secret Wars, they basically, Mr. Fantastic and a bunch of other heroes like get back into the normal universe, into Doom's universe, and then they're like, oh, what the fuck? You've been fucking messing up with the timeline here, dude. Like, what the fuck's going on? And then, they stop his plan. And when they stop his plan and whatever, beat him, Benjamin Franklin, which is in the Fantastic Four movie, that's not a spoiler because it's in the trailers, that Sue Storm's pregnant. And, why did I fucking say Benjamin Franklin? That's the fucking dude that's on the American dollar. Franklin Richards, sorry. He basically works with Molecule Man and the rest of the Fantastic Four, and they redo the whole Marvel universe and blah blah blah, and now they like become the Beyonder basically. And Kevin Feige did say that Secret Wars will reset 30% of the MCU, right? So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's something similar is gonna happen because they set up now Franklin Richards. They setting up Doom. They call it Doomsday, right? It's a whole multi-universe event thing and whatever. We already know the Fantastic Four from the MCU is not in Universe 616. So, and they've been doing, I think this has been the multiverse saga, since freaking with Spider-Man when they had Toby, Andrew, and Tom all together, by the way, I hope they bring them back. That would be awesome. And then also now they confirmed, Gambit is back, and Deadpool and all the Fox characters are now going to be in this movie. I just think it makes sense, basically reset, get rid of, get rid of the Fox characters, give them one more hurrah, keep some of the actors. Like I love Channing Tatum stays Gambit, like I'm actually using a Gambit pop figure to hold up my camera now. I even have a CGC Gambit book there. I love Gambit. Keep Channing Tatum as Gambit. Keep Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Get a new Wolverine. Some new X-Men. Get maybe a new Fantastic Four. Keep the same Fantastic Four. I like them. I don't really mind either way what they do it. But just I think a lot of people grew tired of the MCU because they were confused with the multiversal saga. So the Earth's Mightiest Heroes setup. Maybe. I'm not really familiar with it, but this is just what I think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be this unless you mean like after Secret Wars, then I guess, yeah, like you just have all the good guys, like, like everyone living in this universe, because like we had too much multiversal shit and your average viewer doesn't understand that, right? Like they don't understand the multiverse stuff. So I guess they just try to put everything back into one universe, and then that going forward that'll make sense. And then I guess 10 years down the line they do another multiversal movie, because it's hard to do multiverse and thing. Let me just Google. Maybe you're right. I don't know where I put my phone. I'm pretty sure I know what you mean by Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Alright, give me 2 minutes. But yeah, okay, yes, exactly what I mean, right? Like, it's just bringing all, Yes, yeah. It's basically is going to be that. I think it is, right? Like a new Avengers team. We already basically have a new Avengers team, but like more solidifying it into the next uh phase, whatever you call it. We got the new Avengers, the young Avengers as well set up, right? Give them more of a platform with Miss Marvel, the new Hawkeye, Wiccan, if you watched Agatha. Who else was there? Who's the other young Avenger that we had? I only named three of them, but you know that's the end of our points. You know, like I just want the Marvel to go back to being just like I don't like the way they do crossovers. You know, it's like because it feels like crossovers. I just want the characters to feel lived in this universe, right? I want it to be normal that sometimes Spidey's chilling with Daredevil. You know, I want it to be normal that we have the Defenders, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, the new Guardians of the Galaxy, because obviously after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, things change. You know, Wolverine jumping between the Avengers and the X-Men and having his whole crisis about that. But also, I'd like a new Wolverine. I like Hugh Jackman, but I'd like a new Wolverine as well. Um, Also, better X-Men stories. I'd like a whole new X-Men story. For more Fantastic Four stories. Dive into the Illuminati stuff with, you know, like because that's what's I think is big missing in it. Like, yes, we have these big multiversal threats and whatever, but like they haven't even set up, you know, the smartest man in the world. We're never gonna have another Tony Stark, or hopefully we do get a new Tony Stark as well after Secret Wars. But like, you know, having these this like all these heroes chilling together. You know, is he like, oh yes, we need to make the big decisions for the world because I represent the X-Men, you represent the Inhumans. You know, like make the MCU feel like the comics. Because like, you know, if you with the new Superman movie with James Gunn, like yes, we had Green Lantern in there, Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl, but they didn't feel like cameos. They felt like they were part of that world, if that makes sense. Like the characters interacted with each other. Um, yes, like exactly where I'm getting to. James Gunn made it natural. I don't like how the MCU has gotten to a point where every time someone shows up, like the Deadpool movie, I do like it, but like, holy shit, did it feel like you know when like a Disney um character in Disney when like Jason Derulo came on not set, Jason Derulo when he came up on set, they're like, oh my god, is that Jason Derulo? And then you have the laugh track like, woo, yeah, woo. That's how MCU cameos feel like right now. You know, it doesn't feel like they're part of the universe or they're part of the story. It just feels like, woo, yeah, woo. And like, yeah, it's cool in the moment, but I just want them to feel like they're humans interacting with each other. That's what makes comics great. You know, like sometimes I'm reading Batman. I think what's a good example? Like All Star Superman. Actually, like when I read All Star Superman, there's a part where he goes to Gotham to go and whatever, you know, deal with something. What was it All Star Superman? Oh no, it's Batman Hush, where Batman had to go to Metropolis to go and whatever fight Poison Ivy or something. I don't know. It happened in one of those two. I'm just getting my memory mixed here, but you know, it didn't feel like, oh my god, that's Superman. Woo, yeah. It was just like, oh, cool. You know, he's visiting a friend. You know, and that's what comics are. Like all these superheroes are friends. They're colleagues. You know, they're sometimes world leaders together or leaders of their representative team, and those teams like the X-Men, the mutants and the X-Men, and what um, Xavier represents is important to world politics within the Marvel universe. Um, Reed Richards, Fantastic Four, you know, they praise as like scientists and whatever, and they're very important. You know, Reed Richards is one of the smartest men. Same with Tony Stark. Tony Stark like used to sell freaking weapons to the military. You know, Captain America was a freaking soldier. You know, he represents America. Black Bolt represents the Inhumans. You know, um, Namor, or I fucking hate that it's Namor in fucking MCU, but Namor represents the fish people. I can't remember what they're called in thing, but the Black Panther with Wakanda. You know, these are all like political entities within themselves in the comics, and we don't explore that enough within the MCU. It is kind of just like cameo, 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 which it was obviously it's a rights issue, because they sold their rights and blah 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 blah. But now that they kind of got their right, well, they own Fox now. Spider Man's still weird with Sony and Hulk with Universal, but the Fox characters are there. Sony needs to just get back Spider Man, please, because besides Spider Verse, keep the animated rights, give the live action rights for these characters because I need Venom in the MCU. I need the Sinister Six in the MCU. I need good stories there. Same with Universal with Hulk. Please, we need a solo Hulk movie. Um, you know, I do think it's what we're getting set up here with Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, yes, it's weird that Robert Downey Jr. is Doom, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have some multiversal reason for it. Or I just wish that it's just a coincidence. He doesn't need to take off his mask. If he does, oh, like, ooh, kind of looks like Tony Stark. That's it. Like I don't mind if he's a Tony Stark variant, whatever. But yeah, yeah. No, Sony is so fucking shit. Like Madam Web, I refuse to watch. I've watched the Venom movies. They're okay. Uh, Morbius exists. It's Morbin time. I still need to watch that just for the meme. Uh, what else did they do? God, oh fuck. They did. Oh shit. You know what? Everyone fucking forgets that they did. They did Craven the Hunter, and I haven't seen it. But why? Why did I refuse to watch the Sony films because I Tom Holland is my favorite Spider Man. I know that's like controversial, right? I love Tom Holland. Um, what bothers me is because of Sony, I don't think he gets as much good stories because of how weird the situation is, right? So I refuse to watch Sony movies as protest because why the fuck do we have a Craven the Hunter movie? Why have we not gotten just like one of the best Spider-Man comics, Craven's Last Hunt? Like that could be adapted. Okay, it doesn't have to be adapted one for one, but it's an easy story to adapt for the MCU for a Spider-Man movie where he's fighting Craven, you know? But no, Sony just has to be fucking greedy bastards. Just make the animated movies. Like, it's okay. I love Spideyverse. Miles is my favorite, Spider-Man. Carry on with that. I don't give a shit. I would like a Miles in the MCU too eventually, but we have time for that. So, just give the rights back to Marvel, please. To Disney, just please. Because we need next phase. Like, I won't lie, the last two phases after game, kind of mid. Right? Like, there's some highlights, don't get me wrong, but they were okay on average. I really like Fantastic Four though. Thunderbolts was alright. The new Captain America was alright. Maybe I'll do a ranking before Doomsday with everything. Um, but what they're setting up, I do think has to be good, especially with the DCU now. The DCU is going to be like James Gunn is just drawing it. I still need to watch Peacemaker, by the way. Like, I'm not gonna sit and say I've seen Peacemaker, but everyone likes it. I just really liked Superman. Like, won't even lie, Superman is literally why I got inspired to actually start talking about comics, watching more comic stuff again, because uh unfortunately the MCU was just trying my excitement up. There was some cool stuff and I was keeping up with the movies or whatever, but there was just too many misses, and now the DCU is making me excited, especially because Zack Snyder ruined DC characters for a long time. So I'm glad it's in good hands, and I think it's going to be very exciting. I'll probably, time's always almost up, so I'm probably going to end with this. So yeah, I'll probably speak about the DCU in depth next Tuesday. What I think is going to happen, what I'd like to happen with Batman Brave and the Bold being announced, Clayface. I think we got Supergirl next year as well. Superman 2 is obviously announced, and we can also make it fun. We can talk about what we want our Justice League to look like, our first Justice League in the DCU. But yeah, thanks for watching, Troubles. I really appreciate it. Actually, it made it very easy for me to talk about this. For the people who missed the stream and watching this through YouTube, please like, subscribe. Also follow the Twitch. Subscribe to the Twitch if you can. I also have Patreon now. I'll shout out patrons as well as this goes on and hopefully gets bigger. Just follow the TikTok for news and mini reviews, my comic hauls, which is Carlo Comics. Yeah, thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you. It was awesome. Hope you have a good night. Cheers. I'm gonna end with the intro because I don't know if you saw the intro, but I love it.